Well, good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Your host, Flywells, here with another edition of our affordable group breaks. First one of May 2025 Topps Heritage Hobby Box. We would have ripped this last week, but decided to take the week off since the kids were on spring break. Did a little traveling, took in a Braves game and a minor league doubleheader last Friday. But we are back. Like I said, 2025. This will probably be the last current product that we do for a couple of weeks. Picked up some goodies last week or the week before last. I don't remember now. So we'll give it another minute or two and then we'll get started. So the hobby boxes have 24 packs, 8 cards per pack. We should have one box hit, relic or autograph, exclusive dark blue parallels and light blue sparkle variations. And Larry from the group had shared a thread over on Twitter with me this evening of kind of what we can possibly expect or what we're looking for. Lots of variations. Some of them are pretty subtle. So I've tried to educate myself a little bit about what we're looking for, but can't say I have memorized the list. So just keep your eyes open. And if you spot something that looks to be a parallel, by all means, please let me know. There's our empty box. And we've got, looks like, is that Kierstad from the Orioles on the box? So I will ask, see, David has the Orioles, so I'll ask if he wants the empty box. If not, no big deal. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So good luck, everybody. All right, off the top, we've got a all-time All-Stars, Mel Ott. Giants. Isaac Paredes for the Astros. Riley Green of the Tigers. Zach Wheeler, Philly. And we got a hit. First pack. And so it could be worse. A bat relic of Mike Trout for the Angels. So we could have done worse. It kind of stinks when you have your hit in the first pack. And the Angels go to Michael Guido. So congrats. And then here is one of the light blue speckle variations, I believe. Michael Conforto for the Dodgers. And I always like these cards. Father and son, Dusty Baker and Darren Baker. I did not know about Darren. Very cool. Kevin Alcantara for the Cubs. Tyler Fitzgerald, Giants. JD Martinez for the Mets. Wyatt Langford for the Rangers. We have a blue Adolis Garcia for the Rangers, and it is 147 of 150. Rhett Lauder for the Reds. Al Raleigh for the Mariners. And there's Darren Baker. We just saw the father and son for the Nats. What I'll probably do is thumb through these when, I don't know, so I guess it makes sense to thumb through each pack just to see if we got one of those bat flip parallels. Good evening, Larry. Good evening, Johnny. ERA, the leaders. We got Sale, Wheeler, and Amanga. We have Mitch Spence for the Athletics. Nolan Jones for the Rockies. Vaughn Grissom for the Red Sox. Michael Massey for the Royals. We have a Chrome Keibert Ruiz for the Nats. Got a light blue sparkle Andy Pages. Y'all corrected me last time I butchered his name. And a Tristan Casas for the Red Sox. It helped Johnny that at the Braves game last week, there's I guess the Cardinals have somebody with the same last name as Andy. So I got to hear the PA pronouncer also announces the last name. So can't take all the credit. Drew Thorpe for the White Sox, Griffin Conine for the Marlins, Anthony Rizzo for the Yankees, Luis Arias for the Padres. So NL batting leaders, we got Arias, Ohtani, and Marcell Ozuna. We got a Mike Schmidt. I don't know what that insert is called. There is a blue Pages, not numbered, but some kind of parallel, and a Salvador Perez for the KC Orioles. What's going on with Rizzo? Hey, Michael. Your Angels claim was a pretty decent one. You got you a bat relic of Trout. Came out of the very first pack. Rizzo's an unsigned free agent. I'll always remember the game that he struck out Freddie Freeman. All right, shall we continue? I see a refractor in this pack. We got a Randy Arozarena first for the Mariners, Orelvis Martinez for the Jays, Jorge Soler, Angels, Nico Horner for the Cubs. There's the aforementioned Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers, and a Jurickson juiced Profar for the Padres, or Jurickson I fleeced the Braves out of a big contract, Profar. Can you tell I'm a little bitter? Carlos Rodon for Yankees, and a Fernando Tatis for the Padres. That is enhanced. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Victor. Jack Flaherty for the Dodgers, Luis Garcia Jr. for the Nats, Cedric Mullins, Orioles, Matt Chapman, Giants. AL ERA leaders, we got Tariq Skubal, Ronel Blanco, and Framber Valdez. We have a chrome Luis Guerrero for the Red Sox. We have a blue Michael Conforto for the Dodgers, and a River Ryan for the Dodgers. Oh, wow. He was born in Charlotte. He's a hometown kid. Lives up road in Huntersville, North Carolina. So far, most of the parallels have been for the Dodgers. Both of the blue, these regular blue ones, are Dodgers. And then one of the sparkle, and then, yeah, both of the sparkles are Dodgers. So, Joey, I'm sure, don't think he's watching, but I'm sure he will enjoy that. I actually made a trade with Joey prior to the break. He opened a hobby box of Heritage, and he had he had hit a couple of Braves, so I made him a deal. Richie Palacios for the Rays. Got another Sparkle coming up. Jorge for the Mariners. Here we go. Here's a Brave. All-time All-Stars. Hank Aaron. JT Ginn for the Athletics. Adele Amador for the Rockies. Did I say that right, Johnny? Here is a Garrett Mitchell Chrome for the Brewers. Hey, it's a non-Dodger. It's Jesse Winker for the Mets. And Matt Olson for the Braves. There's a lot more variety than I recall in Heritage. Heritage is not usually one of my favorite sets. It's usually not something that I purchase too much of. But so far, this is I'm enjoying it. Kirby Puckett Place. I assume that's I guess that's you, Dustin. No guaranteed autos. It's either an auto or a mem or a relic, and ours was a relic in the first pack. Yeah, I figured. Let's see. Johnny says Adai L. So I was close. Okay. Oh boy, here's a funky one. There are a lot of rookies in this. Yohansky. Is that Yohansky Noel for the Guardians? Joe Ryan for the Twins. Porter Hodge for the Cubs. Lake Bachar, Marlins. Brian Reynolds for the Pirates. Here is a record breaker, Shohei Ohtani. A Carlos Rodriguez for the Brewers. And a National League home run leaders, Ohtani, Ozuna, and Schwarber. Here is the non-enhanced Jurickson Profar. We have a Nicky Lopez for the White Sox. There's an Ozzie for the Braves. And Jace Jung for the Tigers. David Peterson for the Mets. Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers. We have a blue Javier Assad for the Cubbies. And a Ty Madden rookie for the Tigers. Willie Adames for the Giants. Luis Gil for the Yankees. Will Wagner for the Jays. Geraldo Perdomo for the Diamondbacks. Josh Naylor for the Diamondbacks. We have a Chrome Refractor Nicky Lopez for the White Sox. Rafael Devers, Red Sox. And a Yariel Rodriguez for the Blue Jays. Yeah, I've been looking at the cartoon images. Uh, Larry shared a cool thread on Twitter this evening, kind of walking you through what you could expect. But I did not study the cartoon images probably as closely as I should. So I'll have to go back and look at them. Turn backwards in the pack. That would help. I know the image variation and the bat flip. It actually says that on the back of the card in so many words. Paul Goldschmidt for the Yankees. Here's a Paul Skeet. Excuse me. Spencer Schwallenbach for the Braves. Pete Alonso, Yankees. Pete Fairbanks for the Rays. And here's something turned backwards. We got a through the years, Mookie Betts. I guess just a regular insert of some type. Sparkle Connor Norby for the Marlins. And a Luke Weaver for the Yankees. The way a lot of the parallels have been for the Dodgers, I'm kind of surprised this isn't a Mookie and a Dodger blue. But instead, we'll go to the Red Sox. Brooks Baldwin, White Sox. Hunter Goodman for the Rockies. Juan Soto, Mets. Sam Altagieri, Angels. Yasver Zuleta, the Reds. Ha-Seong Kim, Chrome. I have a blue Connor Norby, so we got the sparkle and the blue. And an Adley Rutschman for the Orioles. Heritage always seemed to be one of those sets where I feel like the focus was still on the base set and not so much other things. And with this year, it definitely looks like they're putting more of an emphasis on parallels, maybe more so than in the past. All-time All-Stars, Bob Gibson, the Cardinals. Blake Snell, Dodgers. Josh Hader, Astros. Yasmani Grandal, the Pirates. Jameson Taillon, the Cubs. Michael Kopech, Dodgers. Alejandro Kirk, Jays. Brian Bello, Red Sox. Zach Geloff, Athletics. Luis Peralta, rookie for the Rockies. Is that one of the ones you were looking for? Danny Jansen, 24 record breaker. Jarren Duran for the Red Sox. Luis Matos for the Giants. JP Morgan, financer. So that goes to that non-sport spot. And here is a sparkle, a AL strikeout leaders. We got Skubal, Reagans, and Gilbert. And of course, those any multi-team card will be random between those three teams, or however many are on there. Final card is a Grant McRae for the Giants. And we're only halfway through the box. Edwin Diaz, Mets. Max Scherzer, Rangers. Cole Reagans, the Royals. Michael King, Padres. All-time All-Stars Yogi Berra for the Yankees. Jake Eder, White Sox. So there's the blue version of the speckle we just had. And an AL stolen base leaders, Caballero, Ramirez, and Chisholm. Lots and lots of parallels. Next up, Jock Peterson, Rangers. AL home run leaders, Judge, Santander, and Soto. Dansby Swanson, Cubs. Otto Lopez, Marlins. Sasaki for the Dodgers. Here's a chrome Tyler Gentry for the Royals. Joey Meneses for the Mets. And a Weiler Abreu for the Red Sox. Check the Meneses. Is it the cartoon? The code, if the code changes like they do in Flagship, it's the same code. All right, continuing on, we got Cade Smith for the Guardians. Brandon Nimmo for the Mets. Max Muncy, Dodgers. All-time All-Star Stan the Man Musial. Gunnar Henderson All-Star. Aaron Judge through the years, but that obviously is different than this other through the years that we have. This one's got a silver foil, whereas that is a regular. Have a Javier Assad Sparkle for the Cubbies and a Seth Lugo for the Royals. Dustin Harris for the Rangers. Adrian Del Castillo, Diamondbacks. Heliot Ramos, Giants. There is another NL strikeout leaders, Sales, Cease, and Wheeler. Jose Altuve for the Astros. We have a numbered Christopher Morel for the Rays. It is 49 of 200. You can see that above the little cartoon dude. But then it also says 1776 to 1976. So I do not know what parallel that is. Someone would be so nice to educate me. Also have a blue, almost a color match, of Vinny Pasquantino for the Royals and a Dylan Cease for the Padres. A bicentennial parallel. Thank you, sir. You are so smart. So the blue parallels that we're getting, the dark blue and the speckle, are exclusive to the hobby boxes. I saw a hanger box the other day at GameStop, of all places, and they've got those packaging has its own parallels. So, and I'm sure there's some other packed out variations. All right, George Kirby for the Mariners, Ryan Weathers for the Marlins, Spencer Horwitz for the Pirates, Freddie Peralta for the Brewers, Ivan Herrera for the Cardinals. We have a Chris Sale player icons. Okay. Trey Sweeney, rookie for the Tigers, and a Brian King for the Astros. So lots and lots of rookies too. Five different non-chrome colored parallels. Thank you, sir. I've been chasing some rainbows lately, but don't think there's anybody in Heritage I'm chasing. Grant Holmes for the Braves. He was pitching a mighty fine game against the Dodgers before. Right when I came up to the office, there was a rain delay at the top of the ninth inning, but pitching a pretty good game against the Dodgers. Only made one mistake, and that was giving up a 2-run shot to Mookie. But otherwise, Ohtani was 0 for 4 against him. So he's been a surprise in the rotation. Bradley Blaylock for the Rockies. Corbin Carroll, Diamondbacks. Emmanuel Clase, Guardians. Jose Ramirez, Guardians. John Steinbeck, novelist, so another non-sport. Sparkle Ryan Bliss for the Mariners. And a Cabrian Hayes for the Pirates. The last couple of starts that Grant Holmes has had, he's done pretty good. Like he got roughed up early in the season, and he had some rough outings last year. But he's been a surprise, and with the Braves pitching staff already beaten up coming into the season, and then still beat up, it's he's been a godsend. Giancarlo used to be Mike Stanton for the Yankees. Jose Berrios for the Jays. Mark Vientos for the Mets. Kumar Rocker for the Rangers. Andrew Benintendi for the White Sox. Vidal Brujan for the Marlins. Here's the blue Ryan Bliss. I think that is the third one where we've gotten the sparkle and the blue. Jonathan Clase for the Jays. Three packs to go, guys. 3 to go. Cody Bellinger, Yankees. Brandon Drury for the Angels. Jonathan India for the Royals. Thomas Sagis or don't know. Cardinals. Tyler Soderstrom for the Athletics. We have a Chrome father and son. We got Craig and Kavan Biggio. Sal Frelick for the Brewers and Eric Wagerman for the Angels. So really wasn't sure what to expect out of this box. But I do have to say it has exceeded my expectations. Yamamoto for the Dodgers. Jordan Hicks, Giants. Brooks Lee for the Twins. Nolan Gorman, Cardinals. Angel, is it Chivili, the Rockies. And we got a black. 31 of 76. Brian Reynolds for the Pirates. 31 of 76. And we have a blue sparkle Roberto Clemente and a Daniel Schneemann. Chivi. Okay. I guess you could say the black is a color match for the Pirates, right? All right. All right, down our final pack. See if we got any last pack magic. Last pack mojo. Got Willie Mays starting us off. Rob Refsnyder, the Red Sox. Brent Rooker, Athletics. Brendan Rodgers for the Rockies. Jose Quintana, the Mets. Jacob deGrom for the Rangers. We got a blue Roberto Clemente and a Pablo Lopez for the Twins. We can do a recap because we got a lot sitting here on the mat. Don't look like we have any bat flip variations, but I'll look a little bit closer as I sort. And if I see anything, I'll come back and I'll let y'all know. All right, let's look at the non-chrome parallels to start with for these blues. We got Clemente, Bliss, Pasquantino, Scobal, Reagans, and Gilbert, Norby, Assad, Conforto, Pages. For the chrome parallels, we got the father and son, Craig and Kavan, Tyler Gentry, Ha-Seong Kim, Garrett Mitchell, Luis Guerrero, Keibert Ruiz, can't talk tonight. For the chrome refractors, we have Nicky Lopez and Profar. We had a blue Adolis Garcia, 147 of 150. We had a black Brian Reynolds, 31 of 76. Sparkle blue parallels, light, what do they call it? Light blue sparkle. We have Clemente, Bliss, Assad, Scobal, Reagans, and Gilbert. I didn't sleeve that one. Connor Norby, Jesse Winker, Pages, and Conforto. The other parallel is this bicentennial, 49 of 200. Christopher Morel for the Rays. Which here lately I've almost had to give away the Rays because nobody wants them. Over in the non-sport department, we got a J.P. Morgan and John Steinbeck. Player icon, Chris Sale. About the only thing the Braves got out of this. And anybody want to tell me what set this comes from? Mike Schmidt, 76R-1 4 is the cart number. And then we got the through the years, we have a Aaron Judge, and then we have a silver or a rainbow foil, whatever you want to call it, Mookie Betts. And out of the stinking first pack, 1976 Redefined. Thank you, sir. And then out of the first pack was the Mike Trout Clubhouse Collection Bat Relic. If we're going to get a relic, I'd rather get a bat relic than a piece of white jersey any day of the week. But yeah, lots of base, lots of rookies, lots of names that gave me a hard time pronouncing. But not too bad of a break. You can tell they've definitely put Heritage on steroids, as several people were saying in the comments, to, I guess, help entice sales, whether that be with breakers or whatever the case may be. Like I said, Heritage is generally not a favorite set of mine, but I can appreciate it for what it is. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is the 76 design. So if that's the case, then we get to my birth year, I guess next year. Johnny says there's nothing on Beckett's checklist about that Mookie. With it being backwards in the pack, it could be a major SSP. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll share it in a couple of Facebook groups and see if anybody knows. So that is going to wrap up this week's break. And if you saw the picture I posted, it was last week. Yeah, it was last Saturday. Made the 3-hour drive up to my little honey hole. Picked up some baseball, and I picked up by request, I picked up some football, just one box. Didn't want to overdo it. So we've got stuff to cover at least the next 4 weeks. I don't believe, let me look at the calendar real quick. I think we're going to be good. Yeah, I've got enough things to keep us busy all the way through May. And then we will see what happens when we get to June, if I'll have to take any time off. I can already tell you July is going to be, we may not end up breaking maybe one time in the month of July, which we'll talk about as we get closer. But June's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure what's going on quite yet in June, but I think the schedule is wide open for the next couple of weeks in May. So when I had asked, what did y'all want to break first? I believe football actually came up as the winner. And it's nothing fancy, but I remember opening quite a bit. Of the inaugural edition of 1996 Donruss football. Panthers were in the league for going into their second season in 96, so I was still excited about football. And for whatever reason, I was able to find a good bit of packs. I guess that's probably my local hobby shop. This is a hobby box. Look for exclusive what if inserts, also hit list, and then the Elite Series. And those are, I believe, all those are numbered. Also, the press proof parallels. Approximate odds of finding an insert are 1 in 5. So, just to break it up a little bit, I think we'll do football next week. And this came at a low cost, so it will be a low cost break. Um, and then we'll get back into baseball for the next couple of weeks after that. So this will probably go up Monday or Tuesday. Just depends on this weekend and what's going on. But as always, thank you guys for your support. Thanks for hanging out with me here on a Friday night. And I will catch you back here next week with a little big skin. Y'all have a good weekend. Take care.